travels with me. The scar that otherwise would have been there if I hadn't asked Nick to kill my mother. People really want to know, what was the final straw? When was the moment when I decided it was her or me? Here you go, y'all, on page 3. 1 month before the murder, my mother tried to cut my throat. At least, that's how I saw it. The cause of concern, suddenly, was my voice. It's so high-pitched. It's so squeaky. My mother complained to my ear, nose, and throat specialist. I thought my voice was distinct, like my uncommon name. Or maybe it was a family trait to be proud of. We both knew women on my mother's side of the family with similar high-pitched voices. Besides, Nick said my childlike chirp was sexy. So, I didn't understand the issue, and I told my mother so. Never in front of the doctors, of course. I knew better than that. But on the way home, I went on and on, like, well, a squeaky wheel. There's nothing wrong with my voice, I said, with a whimper, as she pushed me in my portable wheelchair to the parking lot where our car was parked, outside the hospital in downtown Kansas City. You heard the doctor. That voice of yours might mean there's a problem with your larynx. And that problem could be causing your sleep apnea, she said, her word final. No matter my sassing, we were going to go ahead and meet with the pulmonologist the ENT had just recommended. Though we both knew very well I didn't have sleep apnea.
Reviewing the book. And I'm already noticing a lot of inconsistencies and lies. Okay, she says 1 month before her crime. 1 month. She now cites this exploratory, possible, not even had it been scheduled, possible exploratory surgery as the reasoning why. Do you remember when her husband, Ryan Anderson, now, today, ex-husband, he said she uses that voice to get what she wants. That's precisely why she didn't want anything to happen to her voice. Because acting childlike is how she got what she wanted. That's how she got what she wanted from her mother.
Once we were approved, we finally moved to the Golden Meadow Projects, where I lived until I was 9. Mama knew how to get approved for a lot of things, and lived off the system. So I'm not sure if remanding me to a wheelchair was part of the scheme or if it was a symptom of her Munchausen by proxy.
Okay, that's pretty clear. That her entire case surrounded that she had to spend almost 24 years forced in a wheelchair. And she just says she's not even sure if it's due to Munchausen by proxy, which we know is not able to be diagnosed. Her mother is deceased. No psychiatrist or therapist or medical doctor has been able to talk to her. No law enforcement officer has been able to talk to her, let alone can any experts come to a decision or an agreement after having evaluated her whether or not she really has that, or if it was just a ruse, a grift, malingering for Social Security income or Social Security disability income.
Her type 2 diabetes, which was medically documented, required her to take insulin. It wasn't odd for a woman of her size who lived on Pepsi and milk, and who thought having to drink water was a punishment, to have diabetes. She was on pain meds because the fusion she had in her leg after a car accident never fully took, causing her chronic debilitating pain, all paid for by disability and Social Security. With me playing the role of the sick child who required government checks and help from charities, and her own compromised health, Mama held me as her shield, her weapon against ever needing her family's assistance again. And she sent Daddy Claude a crystal clear message to that effect.
She just said, me playing the part, me playing the part, me playing the part. There you go, everybody. First of all, I have obtained my own copy right after it was unsealed of the autopsy report. It is available in a video for everybody to see. But you see this last page right here, the toxicology screening that they did. You see how her mother, Dee Dee, was negative for everything, including opiates, even Tylenol, all of it. Negative, 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 negative. Now, she probably did take insulin, which, it's in my own opinion, if you're going to take somebody's life, why not do it using a more painless method, which was readily available? I can't say if that's not how she attempted to take her life the first time in the spring of 2011, but we know she tried again with the BB gun on June 14th of 2011. That's a whole 4 years before this, before she even met Nick online and started talking to him. This is before before the whole possible exploratory surgery. So she is lumping something 4 years before with justification for why she committed this crime 4 years later. But this right here, she was getting pain medicine, opiate pain medicine, from a pain management doctor or her primary physician. She was probably selling them for money, like most people have for the last 60 years with those kinds of medications. Sell them for money. Medicaid, Medicare covers the prescription costs, if not $1, $4 copay, whatever it may be in whatever state. But she had none of it in her system. If she had been taking opiates and was physically dependent on opiates, there would be some in her system. That tells you she was likely not taking them, and she was selling them. And if she had them available for Gypsy to steal, and she got caught several times taking them, it's likely that Gypsy knew her mom was selling them to somebody. And I wouldn't be surprised if it's somebody you've seen on documentaries.
She kept on persisting on this alternative thing that really didn't seem to pan out in the way that it never was obviously meant to.
That he was offering her for 3 years.
Yep. Since she had warned me that she's tried it twice before, and she's only mentioned one of those times in the media. The other, apparently she almost got close to killing her mother, but however, she couldn't do it. She was attempting to do it mainly for someone that she had an infatuation with.
How do you kill your own mother? I mean, there's got to be a reason. There's got to be some abuse there. You don't just, I'm going to kill my mother because I want to be with a boyfriend.
Yeah, she did. The real reason why she committed her crime and took her mother's life is for sausage. Her dad knows it. Nick knows it. Gypsy knows it. The world knows it. We've been told. Listen, pay attention, comprehend.
And that's when I grabbed the gun and I threatened her with it. And before I knew it, I pulled the trigger as many times as I could. Shot my mother. I just remember thinking like, oh my God, did I just do that? What did I just do? A couple of them hit her, a couple of them hit the wall. But the wounds were superficial. It barely grazed her. That's when I realized it was a BB gun. And it made me feel relieved because I did not intend to kill her. She told people that me and her were robbed in the parking lot of Walmart by this mystery robber that shot her with the BB gun.
When Dee Dee did go in and get medical care, the records show that she lied about it.
Gypsy Rose Blanchard was never charged with the 2 counts of attempted murder because for whatever reason, they completely overlooked that, or when she was offered that plea deal, law enforcement stopped their investigation. However, she's confident enough to tell you about one of those times and make it sound like it was just this innocent thing. And she was so relieved that she found out it was a BB gun and not a real one. The messed up part is that it didn't stop her from attempting before that. And also on that date, June 14th of 2011, and also doing it again 4 years later for a totally different man. And we know that she ran away more than one time, and we know that she has said she willingly went back. But the 2 attempts and the third, which was the actual crime, was not done in a harmless, painless way. And there's one thing she could have done to ensure that, but she wanted her mother to be in pain, and she wanted her mother to feel it. Gypsy was smart enough to Google how to get rid of the smell of decomposition and how to prolong decomposition. She was smart enough to know how insulin works and how to do it pain-free. But she chose